Beep, 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 Chester. Let's do some unreality. I can't believe it. Right, okay, so. Right, okay. Just PSHE, right? Let's talk about PSHE for a minute, okay? But I want you to separate your brains from your outrage. Because this is utterly surreal, right? I've tweeted this, right? So you can see it. Become a warrior teacher, all the usual, right? We're having a meeting tonight. So become a warrior teacher. If you want to, fill out the form on the Dubras, subscribe, for God's sake, get me on to 4,000, I'll be happy chappy. Now, so what have I got here, right? There's a kerfuffle going on, isn't there? After this, because there was a report, as you remember, you see the report, I've had a look, it's very good, that came from what they call a right-wing think tank. God, all these Nazis and their PSHE problems, right? Which is designed to show people the nonsense that's being taught by outside agencies and how dreadful they are, right? Now, most of this stuff is obviously worrying because they're talking to kids, little 13, 12-year-old kids about sticking fingers up bums and things and using a dice game. What exactly can you do with a nose and an anus? I should avoid the bringing together of the two. Because they put different names on the dice, right? So it's all very well and good. It's all nonsense. But the left press is fuming, right? They're like, no, this isn't happening. Our research shows it isn't happening. It's not going on. This isn't happening at all. I mean, they are in absolute and total denial. There's like a collective cognitive dissonance going on amongst people that don't recognise that a lot of this is a problem, okay? Now, here's a knife's edge case, right? Let's talk about it as a knife's edge case. Let's get it straight, right? Now, people can be at school from 16 to 18, and in this country, the UK, it is illegal to have sex at 16. Okay, no, it's legal. Sorry, is it? Yeah, it's legal, right? So if your average 16-year-old wants to get off with another 16-year-old, there's nothing criminal about it at all. Nothing, right? Okay, it's perfectly fine to do so. Now, what I've come across is this thing called split banana, right? Split banana. What do you think that means? Split banana, right? So splitbanana.co.uk, right? We've now got a guide from November of last year called How to Talk About Pleasure with Teenagers, right? How to Talk About Pleasure with Teenagers, okay? Introducing our brand new student workshop. So this is for schools to teach 16 to 18-year-olds how to have sex, right? Or to talk to them about pleasure. Have you ever heard about anything so ridiculous in all your born days, right? In all your born days. From an evolutionary perspective, right, okay? Learning to frig yourself or toss yourself off is something that comes fairly quickly and you don't really need any guidance, right? You'll find a way because it feels so good, which it's meant to, right, that you want to have sex because we're meant to reproduce because that's how we keep the species going, right? So how to talk about pleasure with teenagers. When you play with yourself, does it feel good? Yes. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talks. But that's not enough for this lot, right? Get it. So we're talking about 16 to 18-year-olds in a school setting. And my argument here is that the school setting is the problem, right? Weirdness, okay? Our brand new workshop, right? I can't believe it right now. Split Banana have to say for themselves, because the word pleasure is nowhere to be seen on the RSHE guidelines, it's been difficult to prove the importance of it to schools. However, over the past year, more and more schools have come forward asking for workshops, including information on pleasure and masturbation for the year 12 and 13 students. I'm calling lies. Workshops for 12 and 13-year-old students on how to masturbate. Talk about shutting the door after the horse has bolted. Alongside this, we reviewed the anonymous questions that we've collected from students about sex, pleasure and masturbation. They're emailing students between 16 and 18 and asking them about sex, pleasure and masturbation. So I'll start that again. Alongside this, we reviewed the anonymous questions that we've collected from students about sex, pleasure and masturbation over the past few years. A great way to fuel Q&A when people are too shy to ask. Based on the things that they were asking for guidance on, including BDSM and kink, sex, toys and masturbation, we designed a workshop and tested it with students. Okay. Right, there's so many problems with this, I don't know where to start. First off, discovering sex and discovering sex with another human being is one of the most exciting things you can do. And it's done through exploration because it is, of course, the undiscovered country if you've never done it before. It doesn't become the undiscovered country if you've got a map to the treasure. That's half the fun. So what they are doing is they are blunting people's ability to enjoy sex by interfering in their sexual lives. They're 16 to 18. My suggestion is schools, in no circumstances should schools be carrying this out at all. It should be done externally and parents should pay for it if they want it. Let's make these buggers work in the marketplace and see what happens to their stupid little programs then, shall we? Secondly, sex is messy when you're younger because you don't know what you're doing, right? You know, that first time that you try and you can't control yourself. And you just, embarrassingly flow at the wrong time. Or, your first fatty fart and you're horrified. Oh my God, what was that? I don't care what it is, right? But the truth of the matter is there's an excitement about understanding sex and learning about sex and becoming a sexual being that happens after the age of consent, which is a perfectly normal process of growing up. Okay? It's the interference that's the problem. You don't have to tell 16-year-olds how to toss themselves off or frig themselves off. They've, I'm sure they're past masters at it by then. And if they're not, there's something wrong with them. Right? Especially the blokes. What are they doing? Right? Okay, what are they doing? Isn't that odd? Don't you think it's odd? I think, let me know in the comments. Is it me or is it odd? I think it's odd. Bugger off. Stop interfering with young people's sex lives. Just let them get on with who they want to sleep with. It's legal. Mind your own damn business. Bugger off. Stop blunting people's experiences with your instruction manual for perversion, kink and BDSM. All the ones that asked us about BDSM and kink. Mind your own damn business. Ugh, infuriates me. Right, so alongside that, wait for it, here comes the next bit, right? So we had Split Banana doing what Split the Banana does. And at the same time, I came across another image, which I've also tweeted, and I'll put this tweet with all these images into the Dubris so you can actually have a look at it, which I think came from Australia. I'm not sure where, or possibly New Zealand, right? So I put it in the tweet so you can have a look. And it's got in the tweet a number of stupid-looking people, all painted up with the usual pink and blue colours, with the words "Trans Liberation Now" on one poster, and then a poster which is surrounded by pictures of strange, cartoon, childlike looking people, which says, "Healthcare is a human right, protect trans kids," and here's the one that worries me, "I love being trans." What, you love having a mental condition, do you? We need to stop these people. But right in the middle of it, the biggest one of all says, "March for queer and trans." And then the words underneath, "Youth autonomy." And the word youth is in the trans colours and the word autonomy is in the rainbow colours. What do we think they mean by youth autonomy? Discussion in the comments, please, folks. What do we think they mean by youth autonomy? Well, the word queer is in the title, and queer theory, we know, is all about youth autonomy. The autonomy to do anything you want to youth. Queer theory is embedded the breaking down of barriers between adult and child in every respect into its entire core. And here they are with a poster. March for queer and trans youth autonomy. Make of it what you will. But go and have a look. I'll put the tweet in the comments. There you go. Split Banana and a bunch of nutters in New Zealand. See you later, peeps.